The brand new Sir Meowsalot backpack, now available at DenisDaily.com. Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Today we are on Adobe's 25 years of Photoshop challenge. For those of you guys who don't know what this is, Adobe has created a little, I guess, game you could say, or a challenge rather, where it's going to show you a picture and you need to guess if it is real or if it is a Photoshop. And Photoshop just meaning like the picture is fake, it was altered, edited using Adobe Photoshop, which, you know, I know a thing or two about. I have dabbled in Photoshop in my days, so I'm feeling pretty confident. We'll see if we can get them right. But anyways, it says right here, test your powers of observation. Let's get right into it, guys. I'm actually super excited about this. Here we go. So photo number one, we have a lady floating in front of a window. Okay, well, immediately right off the bat, I want to say that it's fake, but she could very well be, I don't know, there might be some strings or something holding her up. The fact that the photo is super overexposed means that I'm going to assume it would have been really easy to edit this in a way that you wouldn't see any strings or anything like that. She could have very easily been put in here. Is that a Photoshop? I don't really know. I'm looking at the hair, seeing if there's any obvious like strokes on it that shows that it was edited. I'm gonna say this one's real. I feel like it's somehow like she's getting like held up by something. Well, oh man, just like the physics on her dress and her hair and stuff. I'm gonna say real. No! What? Man, okay, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's more obvious than I think. So like this one, she's underwater. Okay, I'm immediately gonna say fake on this one, just because of the back of the dress here. It kind of looks like it was cut. It was cut around. It was like cropped out and then kind of put in, and it seems a little bit lazy back there, but it's going to be really embarrassing if this was indeed real. I'm going to go ahead and say it is a Photoshop though. That was real? What? Man, I am terrible at this. Okay, so now this here, they're wondering, was it real or Photoshop? I mean, the fact that it's like a perfect kaleidoscope, I'm going to say that's a Photoshop. Okay, good. I would have been really upset if I didn't get that one. Is this real or Photoshopped? Oh man, I'm gonna say this is real. What? But all the detail just like on his body there? No way. This is so much harder than I thought. I hope you guys are playing along with me. Let me know how well you did in the comments, because this is impossible. The fact that the dog is just like that, unless that's like a fake dog, modeled dog. Oh, actually, right there on the edge of the dog might have been what gave it away. That seems kind of poorly cut there. Oh, this is so hard. I'm gonna say Photoshop. No! What? We're doing so bad. We're doing so bad. I think this one's obviously a Photoshop. I'm just quickly checking if you see any repeats on the sides there. I think they did pretty good with this one, actually. Oh man, I'm looking at all the little details in each little box, and there doesn't seem to be any duplicates. So either it was photoshopped really well. The shadows on the dude don't seem too convincing. It's a really interesting photo. Like, I'm really curious as to how they took it, if it's indeed real, but I'm gonna go ahead and say Photoshop. I'm gonna say Photoshop with a lot of attention to detail. No! Come on! Come on! I just don't believe that these things are real. It just seems way too good of like pictures to have taken. And then, okay, like what would be photoshopped about this one here? That's a crazy photo. Like, how would have you taken a photo of the water like that? You would have had to have like, what you call it? I don't know much about photography. There's like a super very long exposure, what do you call it? Like it accounts for like, it takes all the frames that were in a certain time and put it in there. I don't know. I barely know what I'm talking about, guys. Man, this is so hard. I'm gonna say it's real. I don't really know what would be photoshopped about that. It was just like the way the photo was taken is really interesting. I don't think it was just a normal like click, bam, photo taken. There was some sort of like process to it, but I'm gonna say it's real. Okay, good. Hey, is this real or photoshopped? I'm gonna go with my gut on this one. I'm gonna say that it's photoshopped. Have we gotten one yet where it is actually photoshopped? We got it right, and then it shows you how it's photoshopped? I'm going with my gut, saying it's photoshopped. No, dude, it's real. Man. Is this real or photoshopped? I'm gonna say that's photoshopped. Obviously, that many balloons can't lift somebody like that. Okay, good. Does it not show like a before and after? It doesn't. Now, this is interesting. Is this real or photoshopped? Well, it definitely doesn't look like what was painted on his body is going through. It's not like his body was just, it had like the multiply blending effect on it. It actually kind of looks painted on. You can kind of tell just from the water. So I'd say that's real. Okay, good, good. Interesting. I'm gonna say real because I see what they did here. I think what it is it's the dumbbell, but like held up by something. It somehow actually just stuck there, and then this squirrel came and just, you know, they didn't make it look like he was trying to lift it up. He's just resting his little paws on it. So this is real. I'm gonna say this is real. I don't really see exactly what's photoshopped about this. I'm just checking like the shadows. I don't really think the shadows would have too much of an effect on the squirrel there. You can kind of see, like, I think it's real. Okay. Wow. I don't know what would be photoshopped. That's a lot of hair. That is a lot of hair, guys. Wow. And I thought that I needed a haircut. Look at this one. I don't know. I don't know what would be photoshopped about this. I guess just the absurd amount of hair. That is a lot of hair. I'm gonna say it's photoshopped. Okay, okay, good. It's asking what gave it away. Nothing really, honestly, just the sheer amount. Nobody has that much hair. This is pretty cool. Is it Photoshop though? He very well could have just done a really sweet backflip, and it's a really cool shot. That sun is hard to believe. That is a big sun. To get a full, perfect, I mean, Photoshop. I don't know. That sun didn't seem convincing, but I don't actually even know if the sun was the Photoshopped part. This is interesting. They made some sort of, wait a second, this is huge. This is like really huge. Like that's a person right there. That's a teeny tiny little person on this photo here. What? I want to say it's real just because it was probably done in a way that I never would have thought of, and so they immediately try to fool you by going like, oh, well, obviously it's Photoshop because what could possibly do that? But there's probably something that exists that can easily do that, and I just have no idea of its existence. So I'm going to say that's real. Yes! Yes, yes, yes. Okay, we're getting better at this, guys. We're getting better. It's a turtle jumping for a frisbee. That's amazing. I want to say it's real. I want to say it's real, but I'm going to click Photoshop. I wish it was real. Now that's cool. Is that real? Is that real? Oh, I want to say no, because that is just way too beautiful. That's too beautiful for it to be able to exist on this planet. There's no way. Man, if it's not a Photoshop, they definitely have some sort of like effects applied to it. Like it was definitely in some way Photoshopped after the photo was taken. I'm gonna say Photoshop. Man, that was real, but like I said, there had to have been some effects applied to that. Now, is this real? Is this real? It's a car without any wheels. It's interesting that there's no real reflectance going on these windows, but then these windows are super reflecty. I'm gonna say that's a Photoshop. Okay. Okay, good. Wow. That's terrifying. But I'm also gonna say, oh, is it real or is it a Photoshop? I do believe it is a fish eating another fish. That's not the part that's confusing me here. It's just like, is it considered a Photoshop if it's like cut out along the edges like this? Because that looks like it was cropped out. I'm gonna say it's real. No, that whole thing was a Photoshop. Hey, wow, okay, okay. I stand corrected. Have we been keeping track? Is this website keeping track I hope so. I want to like know what my score is afterwards. Maybe if some of you guys are keeping track, you can tell me in the comments what my score is. This guy though, is this real or Photoshop? I'm gonna say it's real. I'm gonna say it's real. Like, there's nothing about this that really seems to be giving away that it's a Photoshop. You could have very easily just started falling forwards and taken the still photo. Doesn't really look like he's having anything holding him up or back. I'm gonna say it's real. I think it had to have been as he was like tilting forwards. So now here, what they want you to think is that it's a Photoshop, because it's like, oh, well, they're obviously morphed into one. It's a two-headed camel. But if you look closely, you can see that this camel is simply standing behind the other one. Now, the thing is I don't know how I feel about this background here. I might be completely wrong here, but for some reason the depth seems a little bit off, but that might just be me having no idea how like professional photography works. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say it's real, because I'm assuming they're trying to trick you here. And like, oh, it's obviously a Photoshop, but it's real. Okay, good. We did it, guys, we did it. There's still more to go though. How could this be real is what I want to know. Wait, no, it's a Photoshop. Yeah, like, what? No, there was nothing about that. It looks like he's holding on to it with his teeth. There's no way this is real. I'm saying Photoshop immediately. Okay, good. If that was real, I would have freaked out right there. I really like this. You'd think it's a Photoshop, but they're definitely doing some sort of like weird perspective tricks here. Like that shoe, it looks really big, but it's actually probably a lot closer than it seems. And then this dude must have like jumped in a very specific way in order to get this shot. It's definitely some really, really strange perspective trick. That's my hunch. I don't know for sure, guys. I shouldn't say it with too much confidence. I'm gonna say real on this one. Well, there you go. Sometimes you have to be like thinking about, what is the website trying to do to you? Is the website trying to trick you? Usually it is. This though, I don't really know what would be photoshopped about this. On the reflection here, there's a tree. Whereas in this area here, there doesn't seem to be a tree in sight. That's one thing that kind of gives it away. Yeah, like on the side of the car here, it kind of looks like you can see a tree, sort of. There might just be trees on the other side, like it's totally a possibility. I don't know what would be photoshopped about it, but I'm just gonna say Photoshop anyways. The shadow also seems a little like too perfect, if that makes sense. I'm gonna say Photoshop. Okay. Again, not 100% sure what exactly was photoshopped about that picture. I'm assuming it was just the prairie and then they photoshopped the car into it. Now here, I don't even know what's going on. I don't know what that is. It looks like a painting? Maybe? So real? Okay, never mind. It was just, I guess it was something made in Photoshop. I'm just gonna say that's a Photoshop. That doesn't seem too convincing. If it's real, then that person is crazy. Oh. Dude, I got it wrong, and it shows you everything afterwards. Well, we did it. We made it to the end, and it shows you everything. That's so cool. That was real. That last photo that we just called a Photoshop was real. I know that that's a thing. There's apparently some sort of like crazy daredevil sport where you need to submerge yourself in like the coldest water ever, and so there's divers that will go to like Antarctica and dive into water that is like so cold. I don't know the exact numbers, but like crazy cold. We're talking like a normal untrained person would probably instantly get hypothermia if they jumped in that water. But these people that specifically train their bodies and their breathing and all that, then they're able to do it a lot better than others. I don't know. It's crazy. It's insane. So whoever was doing that, if that was real, I mean, it was real, confirmed. They're insane. So let's see. How many did we get right? There's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I should have assumed that 25, considering 25 years of Photoshop, 25 photos to guess from. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 wrong. Not bad. We only got 9 out of 25 wrong. Maybe that is actually really bad. I don't know. I encourage you guys to try this out for yourself, even though you did kind of already see the answers. perhaps maybe you could show a friend to see how well they do. Or you could forget everything you just saw in this video and then try again for yourself. Anyways though guys, I'm gonna leave it off there. That was super cool. Really cool for Adobe to have put that together. I don't know when this came out. I'm actually not sure if it was super recently. I don't know how long Photoshop's been around. Amazing program though. Probably one of my favorites in existence. The software has done so much for humankind anyway, so on that note, I would like to thank you so much for joining me for another video. If you enjoyed, please remember to leave it a like, maybe even subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to check out the Sir Meowsalot backpack, now available at DenisDaily.com, link in the description below. But other than that, again, thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one.